So the book's called Die with Zero, and it's a concept, like, I've been having like debates with friends about like life optimization. And it starts with, you if you go to work and exchange hours of your life to earn money, and the purpose of earning money is like food, shelter, clothing, but after that point it's to like do other stuff. Like, you're not going to work just for Space Invaders and getting the money for, not to spend it, right?
What do you mean?
So,
when you say Space Invaders, I mean just because, what are you holding on?
It's not like you get high score on a game and then leave the high score in a game, and like that's the point. Like, that's not life. Like, the money is there for you to consume experiences, right? The first experience is like food, shelter, health, right? But after that, it's other experiences that you can purchase, and it's it's the exchange for other people's life energy. The cook, the chef, the airline pilot, the doctor, the whatever. And so, that concept came to me as like, wow, so if I go to work and I earn money and I don't spend it, I basically wasted hours of my life to the extent that I'm working for money to have other experiences. And so, what that concept is like, when you're 1 year old, $1 million doesn't really mean anything to you. You can't really consume it. Those experiences, they become, they're not valuable to you, or you're unable to convert the money into experiences.
Okay.
The same thing happens at the tail end of your life mainly due to health, your physical health and your mental health. Your ability to convert that money into experiences declines with age after a certain age. Generally, that would be probably around 35, but it depends on who you are, et cetera. And so there's, with those like axioms, there's a lot of implications about spending, when you spend, your life path, and optimizing your life, and how you give, your charitable giving, when you give money to your kids. All these things come out of those concepts. And so for years I've been talking about it with friends, and we would just kind of be like, oh wow, I got to spend more money. I need to think of things to do. Like, we would like force ourselves to get off the habit of like earning and grinding to like converting into experiences, because it's like, what am I going to do? Like, am I going to go wave running 10 years from now when I'm 60? Probably not. Like, I have a degenerative back disease from playing football. I have all kinds of things that I'm a little concerned, like doing certain trips. Like, I went wakeboarding when we went to Necker Island, and I was like, wow, should I wakeboard? Like, I could really throw out my back. I was like, no, I'm still at the age. It's not like I'm gonna do it 10 years from now. Let me do it now and get this experience. And so the book's kind of about that. It's about experiences. And a lot of people say, oh, it's about people with money. But even if you don't have any money, like let's just say it's nothing. Like, you have like the minimum thing and all your things are going to be free.
Yeah.
You have to order your experiences in order to get the most experiences and the most enjoyment. Like, you're not going to go climb Kilimanjaro when you're 5, and you're most likely not going to do it when you're 75 and 80.
Right.
So there's activities have seasons for you based on your health, your age, etc., even if you have no money. And so life is like Tetris, you don't get married when you're 15, and if you're going to have kids, you're not going to be doing this, and etc. So you want to get the ordering right in order to get the maximum out of life. And it's according to your own goals, etc. It's like, if I want to get married, I want to have kids, I want to climb Kilimanjaro, I want to ski 200 times, etc. There's going to be periods in your life when this should be done in order for you to get the most of all these experiences. And I'm trying to get you the most positive life experiences. So all these activities, like, you have to really sit down and think about like the arc of your life, and like when these activities that you can do and you can't do, because you have diminishing returns. Like, it's your needs are like very important. Like, your whole ability to enjoy everything is from your ability to move, right? First, it's the neurons that fire that allow you to think, and then also fire again against muscles to move you around to experience the world. And so because you're an animate object, you process energy, which we call food, and it produces movement. That's where you get all your enjoyment. So as you age, your ability to move, and whether it's just painful or not, you cannot do it.
Right. But
as that happens, your enjoyment goes down, and as your mental acuity goes down, your enjoyment goes down. Your ability to enjoy these things. So, for a lot of us, I guess we're a younger set, but like when you get to a certain age, the memory of playing something like a sport will be better than playing it. Like, if I went out and started playing football with a bunch of people, it might be a little bit of fun, but it'd be a pain in the ass. I get hurt, I twist the ankle, I'd be huffing and puffing. It will not be as enjoyable as when I was in the University of Iowa and in shape and could, run for days.
My advice, the thing I learned most from Bill and from like 2012 on when I met Bill was, play big, take risks, go for things, play a big game, take a shot. What are you going to wait for? You're
Yeah,
going to
yeah,
wait. It's similar to your book.
Like, I'm 50. Like, what am I going to do? Like, you know what I mean? I don't have time to like incrementally do this. So like, we're basically, you know, we got resources and smart people around to do it, and we'll figure it out. We can learn and grow together. I remember when Necker Island first opened, like when he bought it and it was, et cetera. And I looked at like the brochure. It was like this hard book brochure in one of these like luxury challenge places, and I was like, wow, who could ever afford to go here? And like, that's a lot. Like, do people really pay it? And like, this would be awesome. Maybe you can divide it up amongst 50 people, but it only has 30 rooms at the time. Whatever it is. And I was like, I want to be able to like rent that island and like get to that spot. And so my first time actually going there was for a friend's wedding.
Oh, John, he was there.
Yeah, John, and I was like, oh, yeah.
He mentioned that. He's like, I was here like 10 years ago or 8 years ago on the day or basically.
Yeah, and I was like, wow, I get to go to Necker Island, you know what I mean, on John's dime. You know what I mean? Like, you know, he had his wedding there, etc. But, you know, and St. Bart's had become one of my favorite places. But just the history, and like, I read Richard Branson's book about his crazy life, about how he was into promoting his brand, and he was in the record business, and then his battles in the airline business, and how he like first was going to buy Island, but he couldn't afford it, and you know he they kicked him out because he wasn't really serious, and then there was a crash, and then he bought it, and etc. And so, to me, it's just kind of surreal being able to hang out there, guy's book you're reading, and now you're playing chess with him, and you've seen him a couple times, etc. And I wanted to give that. I've already had that experience, so for me, the experience of going to Necker Island was more about my brother, my sister, my friends, you know what I mean, like, and new friends and old friends, being able to see what I've seen and sharing that common experience together. Because, like, you know, for me, life, like the greatest things in life, like, yeah, there's some individual things like meditating and like going out on your own and just absorbing the earth and God's nature and being like, oh, this is great, you know, look at what humanity's built. But like, the most memorable experience is for me, and like where I have a big memory dividend that I think back to, is shared common experiences with other people. You know what I mean? It doesn't have to be on Necker Island. It doesn't have to be at these necessarily great places. It might be like you were in the kitchen laughing, and you know snot bubbles came out of your nose, and you were giggling, and you talk about that forever. I really want my legacy to be, you know, with this book, in everybody optimizing their life and getting the most full life. Like I said to someone, I said this on Joey's, and I'll say to you, it's just like, our book is a lifesaver, because I feel that many people are wasting their lives, right? Like, they're on autopilot, they're going to work, they're not trading in for experiences, they're not thinking about their whole life from start to finish, you know? When you die affects what you do today. Like, if you were going to die tomorrow, you know, everybody's heard the question, if you're going to die tomorrow, what would you do? And everybody's got like these run around with a chicken with a head question, whatever. And then they go, well, why aren't you doing this now? Because you're not going to die tomorrow, right? But if you're going to die in 2 days, it would be different. If you're going to die in 3 days, it would be different. If you die in 4 days, 5 days, whatever. You know, most people probably watching probably have like 15,000 days left, or 20,000 days left. And
that's
so,
not a lot when you say it like that.
Yeah, I mean, so when you think about that, like, when you die affects, you know, what you do today, and you know, you have to think about it with the end in mind and this arc of what you're going to do. And so, because we don't do that, we're afraid of our own death. We don't like to talk about it. Whatever. We live our lives suboptimally according to our own goals, not my own goals, not my own thing, but like the things you want to do out of life and what you want to get out of life. We don't do it. And so, you know, we spend a lot of money at our end of life. Like, if you're going to die, you get hit by a bus and you're 80, and you know, they give you a ventilator, and they have all this money, and they'll spend millions of dollars for you to stay alive for a couple months in a hospital. And I'm like, you know what? Let's trade those 4 months in a hospital in bed with a low quality life for like memories and interactions with people you love now today. Let's go into like that whole, like you said, I'm getting married, to have kids, and like, you know, There are certain decisions that, like, I think the economists call them dynamic decisions and static. Like, you deciding to eat a candy bar, pretty much a static decision. You getting married is the dynamic decision. And what that means is that decision affects every other decision in your life. And when you have kids, which, you know, people who have kids know out there, that it changes everything. There are so many other decisions that you're making at that time to have kids that maybe 5 years down the road, but you've already made that decision. And, you know, I use the examples like, hey, you know, I'm here with friends, but I got to fly home because I got to catch my daughter's soccer game. And they're like, oh, you got to make that decision. I was like, that decision actually was made 12 years ago. I didn't know it, but it was made 12 years ago when I decided to have a kid. Like, this was always going to be a priority.
Yeah.
They were actually going to go into sports or something, and there will be a time where I will be doing something fun with my friends, but I'm going to have to zip it short so that I show up for my daughter, enjoy watching her, but also show up that she sees me there. And so, the book is also about those dynamic decisions and like ordering them properly so you get the most out of your life. We got some people who like felt the value proposition was there for them to come. They were getting a 10K stake, housing, use of the boat to stream, etc. And just kind of like a lot of people like the lifestyle, or they want to get into Twitch, or they want to do etc. And they were like, okay, we'll go and run and grow with you. And so that took off, and then it's been a good response. And we now have I now have a sponsor who's come in and wants to like up the stake by giving them tickets on tournament tickets, another 10K.
There's a whole this thing's growing pretty quickly.
So they're up to a 20K stake right off the bat. We got the house sponsored. We're gonna announce that out. So we have a sponsorship for the house. People kind of believe in the concept, my ability to execute, our ability to bring in talent that's gonna deliver, and I believe we will. I think it'll be a lot of fun.
It's a great group. I think it's fun. This is, to me, it feels a little almost like Big Brother-ish, like where it's like you're gonna put people together. It's a big project. It's exciting. It's unknown. You don't know. Like it's like there's a lot of variables.
You don't know. Like the main thing you don't know is like we definitely have personalities. We definitely have charismatic people, etc. We just don't know what their work ethic is going to be in order to take advantage of those opportunities. And I hope they will take advantage of it and take it seriously. Like I've done this a lot of times with other people in different jobs and different positions, et cetera. And they kind of, they're kind of always like not really taking fully advantage of what the opportunity set is in front of them, and not doing their share in their work ethic to make it happen, and always looking up to someone to like handle it for them. I don't think we have that group. I think we have the group that's actually going to take the ball and run, pass the baton, and then they're actually going to do it. But you never know. That's the only unknown right there.